one of the most exotic destinations in the world, Morocco is incredibly beautiful. A country of extravagant architecture, labyrinthine walled cities, markets filled with dazzling traditional crafts, and imperial medieval towns that contrast with idyllic desert fortresses. A land of contrasts and natural wonders, Morocco is located at the far northwest of the African continent and stretches for 2,000 kilometers, from the Mediterranean coast to the sands of the Sahara, dominated by the high Atlas Mountains. Let's explore together and discover some of the most fascinating and extraordinary facts about Morocco. Welcome to the Places of the World channel. Morocco is a country with a rich cultural diversity, reflected in its art, architecture, music, literature, and cuisine. Arabic and Amazigh are the two official languages of the country. Moroccan Arabic, also known as Darija, is the national language spoken by most of the population. Amazigh is a group of northern Berber languages spoken in various regions of the country, while French and Spanish are also widely present. The national sport is football. The Moroccan national football team has achieved several milestones on the international stage, including becoming the first African and Arab country to reach the semi-finals of a World Cup. This historic moment took place during the World Cup held in Qatar in 2022. Morocco is a country with ancient traditions, especially when it comes to clothing. It is known as the land of the jalaba, a long, loose-fitting robe with a hood that covers from the neck to the ankles. It is worn by both men and women over regular or festive clothing, and is typically removed upon arriving at one's destination, just like the traditional babouches. Babouches are lightweight, flexible, and comfortable shoes that have been worn for centuries in the country. They are unisex and handcrafted by skilled leather shoemakers, who use their expertise to create high-quality footwear. As for marriage in Morocco, it's worth noting that in Moroccan culture, the symbol of love is not the heart, but the liver, considered the source of all emotions and feelings. So, a typical romantic phrase might be, "You have won my liver." Moroccan food is known for its unique flavor and the wide variety of aromas and spices. In Moroccan cuisine, dried spices are essential. Spice blends like Ras El Hanout are commonly used, along with individual spices such as cumin, cinnamon, turmeric, and paprika. Some of the most characteristic dishes of Moroccan cuisine include couscous, one of the staple foods in Morocco, served with a variety of stews and made from wheat semolina. Tagine, a slow-cooked stew prepared in a cone-shaped clay pot, also called a tagine, which can include lamb, chicken, fish, or vegetables, seasoned with a blend of spices. Harira, a thick and nutritious soup made with lentils, tomatoes, and meat, usually lamb or chicken, along with a mix of spices. Kefta, which are ground meatballs, typically made from lamb or beef, seasoned with herbs and spices, often cooked in tomato sauce. Brouilloutes, triangle-shaped phyllo pastries filled with a mixture of meat, almonds, and spices, then fried until crispy. Shakshuka, a dish of poached or baked eggs in tomato sauce with red peppers, seasoned with spices such as cumin and paprika. Finally, drinking mint tea is a fundamental part of social culture in Morocco, commonly shared with friends and visitors. Morocco is a land passionate about art, having served as a source of inspiration for countless artists from around the world, drawn by its striking light and spectacular landscapes. Art in Morocco is an expression of the country's rich and diverse culture, shaped by a blend of Arab, Berber, European, and African influences. The country is famous for its unique and beautiful architecture, with imperial cities, stunning medinas, mosques, and palaces adorned with intricate tiles and refined architectural details. It is said that traditional Moroccan architecture is like a hidden jewel, often simple on the outside, hiding fabulous treasures within. From its mosques and madrasas to the houses known as riads, ingeniously designed to withstand intense heat. Riads feature an open central courtyard that facilitates ventilation and a system of fountains and channels that, along with natural airflow, creates a cooling effect. But without a doubt, craftsmanship is one of the most important forms of art in Morocco. Leatherwork, known as Marroquinerie, is used to create a wide range of items. Moroccan ceramics are known for their vibrant colors and geometric patterns. Jewelry is crafted from various metals, including gold, silver, and copper. Finally, wood carving and carpets stand out for their elaborate and colorful designs. It is believed that the Berbers were the first inhabitants of Morocco, originally from Asia and settling in North Africa thousands of years ago. Centuries before the Christian era, the region was occupied by Phoenician traders from Asia Minor, who established their capital in Carthage and founded several cities in what is now Moroccan territory. However, during the Punic Wars, Carthage was destroyed and its possessions were taken over by the Romans. The city of Volubilis was one of the most important Roman cities in the region. Today located near the city of Meknès, in the north of the country, it is considered a World Heritage Site. With the fall of the Roman Empire in the 5th century, the region came under Byzantine control and, later, that of the Vandals. The Vandals were expelled by the Berbers until the arrival of Muslim troops from Baghdad during the conquest of North Africa in the 7th century AD. The distance from Baghdad allowed a certain degree of autonomy, which led to the emergence of various Berber-origin kingdoms in the following centuries. Among them were the Idrisids, a dynasty founded by a grandson of Muhammad, who fled persecution and escaped from Mecca in the year 786 AD. His son, Idris II, founded the first great imperial city, the impressive city of Fez. The rule of the Idrisids came to an end with the arrival of the feared warriors of the Sahara, the Almoravids. Literally meaning those who wear the veil, these warriors founded, in the 11th century, an empire that included not only Morocco, but also parts of Algeria and Spain, with the imperial city of Marrakech as its capital. Morocco, officially the Kingdom of Morocco, is located in North Africa. It borders the Mediterranean Sea to the north, where it also shares land borders with Spain in the cities of Ceuta and Melilla. To the east, it borders Algeria, to the south, Western Sahara, and to the west, the Atlantic Ocean. It is the only African country that borders both the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. In addition, its geographical position, separated from Europe by the Strait of Gibraltar, gives Morocco a strategic location, both within the African continent and at the crossroads of European and African cultural influences, covering an area of over 446,000 square kilometers. With a population of over 37 million people, it is the 39th most populous country in the world. In terms of administrative organization, Morocco is divided into 12 regions. The capital of the country is Rabat, located in the northwest, while the most populous city is Casablanca, situated on the Atlantic coast, about 80 kilometers south of the capital. In the south of Western Sahara, there is a strip of Moroccan territory that is in dispute with the Polisario Front. 8 walls, totaling 2,750 kilometers in length, have been built to protect the territory effectively controlled by Morocco from incursions by the Polisario Front. Zones and landscapes of Morocco. Morocco is a country diverse in terms of geography. This territory is mainly characterized by mountainous terrain. More than 2/3 of the country are occupied by 4 main mountain ranges. The Rif Mountains, a range located along the Mediterranean coast in the north of the country, with altitudes barely exceeding 2,000 meters. The beaches at the foot of the Rif are among the most touristic and beautiful in the country. A mountain range located between the Rif and the High Atlas, stretching from the southwest to the northeast of the territory. The Middle Atlas is one of Morocco's most enchanting landscapes, with a mild and humid climate, and is also the source of the country's most important rivers. The High Atlas, the highest and most extensive mountain range in Morocco, forms a natural barrier between the north and south of the country. It is home to the highest peak in Morocco, Mount Toubkal, standing at 4,165 meters. The High Atlas has a continental and arid climate, with permanent snow on its peaks and fertile valleys along its slopes. It is the habitat of the Barbary macaque, also known as the Gibraltar monkey, the only wild primate living in Africa outside tropical zones. The Anti-Atlas is a mountain range that stretches from the Atlantic Ocean to the Dra Valley, south of the High Atlas, with a desert climate, sparse vegetation, and a region rich in minerals such as copper, iron, lead, and tin. In the southeast of Morocco lies part of the vast Sahara Desert, one of the largest deserts in the world. The Atlantic coast of Morocco. Our journey begins near the city of Rabat, where the ancient city of Chella is located, known as a former settlement dating back to the Carthaginian and Roman periods. About 87 kilometers south of Rabat, on the Atlantic coast, lies the beautiful city of Casablanca, the most populous city in the country. Due to the relative proximity between Casablanca and Rabat, and the existence of a high-speed train connecting the two cities, many people travel between them for work, study, or to visit family and friends. Casablanca is the economic engine of Morocco. It hosts the country's largest port, vital for international trade. Casablanca is known for its diverse architecture, combining traditional Moroccan elements with modern influences and French-style Art Deco. One example is the Abouz neighborhood, with its narrow streets and Art Deco buildings. It reflects the period when Morocco was a French protectorate, from 1912 until its independence in 1956. The Hassan II Mosque is one of the largest mosques in the world and one of Casablanca's most important landmarks. About 100 kilometers south of Casablanca, still on the Atlantic coast, is the city of El Jadida, famous for its old town, which was a Portuguese colony in the 16th century. The walls, bastions, and narrow streets transport visitors back to that time. The Portuguese cistern is one of the city's highlights. Also along the same Atlantic coast is the city of Walidia, known for its oyster production. You can enjoy fresh seafood at local restaurants, and the lagoon is a popular site for oyster farming. We conclude our journey in the city of Essaouira, famous for its beautiful Medina. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, it is also known for its busy port, where visitors can see fishermen in action. The Atlantic coast of Morocco is an increasingly popular tourist destination, thanks to its beautiful beaches, rich history, and culture. It is home to the capital of the Kingdom of Morocco, the city of Rabat, a city with a millennia-old history, founded by the Phoenicians in the 3rd century BC, and later transformed into the Roman city of Sala Colonia. In the 12th century, it became the base for Almohad raids into the Iberian Peninsula, from which its original name, Ribat al-Fath, or Camp of Victory, derives. One of Rabat's most iconic attractions is the Hassan Mosque, an impressive mosque built in the 12th century by Sultan Almohad Yaqub al-Mansur. Although it was never completed and was partially destroyed by the 1755 Lisbon earthquake, its unfinished minaret remains an important historical landmark and one of the city's most recognizable features. Rabat's historic center, located at the mouth of the Bou Rej River, is a World Heritage Site and includes places such as the Kasbah of the Udayas, a historic neighborhood known for its narrow streets and charming white and blue houses. It is a delightful place to stroll and admire traditional Moroccan architecture. The Royal Palace, although not open to the public, is an imposing structure. Rabat's markets and souks are centers of rich cultural expression. One of the city's most characteristic products is authentic, high-quality rugs. Rabat also has a highly efficient railway system that connects the city to other important regions of the country, as well as facilitating transport within the city itself. Similarly, Salé, located on the other side of the Bou Rej River, was an important commercial center and port throughout history. During the medieval period, Salé was known for its corsairs and pirates operating from the city. Situated between the fertile lands of Sais and the forests of the Middle Atlas, Fez is the oldest of Morocco's imperial cities and one of the largest and best-preserved medieval Islamic cities in the world. It has everything expected of a Maghreb city with 1,200 years of history. It is the embodiment of the country's history, its spiritual and religious capital, and the center of Arabization and Islamization in Morocco. For this reason, it has been declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1981. For centuries, it attracted and welcomed a community of poets, musicians, and intellectuals, including the great historian of Tunisian origin Ibn Khaldun, and the young Jewish scholar Moses Maimonides, who would later become a renowned doctor and philosopher at the court of Sultan Saladin in Egypt. Fez el Bali, the old heart of the city, is a deep labyrinth with 9,000 alleys and stairways, full of beautiful examples of Islamic architecture and art. Many treasures were created by successive waves of artisans fleeing the Christian reconquest of Al-Andalus in southern Spain. The Medina is not only a historic place but also a living city, where artisans, markets, souks, and much of the local population thrive in a lifestyle that has existed for over 1,000 years. Among its most fascinating attractions are the Cho-era tanneries, the largest in the world, where visitors can see locals producing leather using traditional methods, Bab Bu Jalaud or the Blue Gate, and the Royal Palace, two of the city's most beautiful and well-preserved monuments. With nearly 1 million inhabitants, Marrakech is the fourth largest city in the country. Its growing industries make it a rapidly expanding economic center. This inland city in Morocco is known for its rich history, impressive architecture, vibrant culture, and bustling markets. Called the gateway to the desert or the capital of the Great South, it is a meeting and trading point for African, Berber, and Arab Morocco, a city of pulsating intensity. Its walls of dried mud or red clay rise above the reddish earth and shine under the sunset, hence the nickname Red City. Marrakech was founded in 1062 AD by the Almoravids from the Sahara. These warrior monks soon built an empire stretching from Algeria to Spain. In 1506, Ali ben Youssef hired Andalusian craftsmen to build a palace and a mosque in the capital. The historic heart of the city is the Medina, an ancient walled city full of narrow, labyrinthine streets crowded with people, where children and young people can be seen playing soccer alongside the souks, markets considered a World Heritage Site. The city is home to several historic and architectural sites, such as the Koutoubia Mosque, the Bahia Palace, and the Saadian tombs. The vast souks are filled with exotic goods. The central square, or Jima Elfna Square, gathers crowds in a daily parade of fortune-tellers, musicians, storytellers, snake charmers, and food vendors. However, visitors can also find tranquil palaces and stunning gardens, such as the Bahia Palace, with its intricate mosaics and refined architecture, and the Menara Gardens, known for its lake and centuries-old olive tree. Above the palm-lined plains of Marrakech rise the snow-capped High Atlas Mountains, the highest in North Africa. Stretching from the Atlantic plains to Morocco's border with Algeria, the High Atlas forms an imposing barrier about 800 kilometers long, making it one of the country's most important mountain ranges, composed of large massifs and steep valleys. With barren rocky plains and deep, narrow canyons, the High Atlas has played a decisive role in Morocco's history. Today, this geographic region offers a wide range of experiences for travelers, hosting many impressive mountains and peaks, including Mount Toubkal, which at 4,167 meters is the highest mountain in North Africa. It is a popular destination for hiking and mountaineering, as well as rafting on its stunning rivers. During winter, the High Atlas Mountains offer opportunities for skiing and snowboarding, with ski resorts such as Oukhamden, the highest winter sports resort on the continent. Currently, the High Atlas is a place where Berber traditions remain alive. Travelers can experience mountain life, shepherding, and the local traditions, customs, and culture. Recently, the region was struck by a devastating earthquake that caused more than 2,500 deaths and thousands of injuries. The earthquake's epicenter, with a magnitude of 6.8, was located in the High Atlas Mountains. 73 kilometers southwest of Marrakech, the province of Al-Hawles was the hardest hit, accounting for 60% of the total deaths and thousands left homeless. The route of 1,000 Kasbah stretches from the Atlas Mountains to the Moroccan Sahara Desert, known for its desert landscapes dotted with palm groves, canyons, gorges, rocky mountains, oases, and, of course, valleys crowned by numerous adobe buildings in ochre and reddish tones. These structures hold great historical and cultural value and represent the traditional architecture of southern Morocco under the name Kasbahs. Kasbahs is a term used to describe traditional fortifications or forts that used to be the residences of tribal leaders and centers of trade. Along the route, you will cross the Merzouga Desert, where you'll find charming towns and villages nestled among oases and palm groves, rich in flora and fauna vital to desert life. Some of the important towns on the route are in the province of Ouarzazate, where you can find the beautiful Kasbah or fortified village of Ait Ben Haddou, a walled settlement with several watchtowers and monumental entrances that once served as a stopover for caravans coming from Sudan. This UNESCO World Heritage Site has been nicknamed the Hollywood of Africa, as it houses the Atlas Studios, the largest on the continent, and has served as the setting for many international films, such as Lawrence of Arabia, The Mummy Returns, Gladiator, Game of Thrones, and Kingdom of Heaven. The Southern Oasis route offers a unique experience in southern Morocco, combining desert landscapes, lush oases, and a rich cultural heritage. Among the most emblematic places is the already mentioned city of Ouarzazate, whose Kasbah is considered a World Heritage Site. In the same region is Merzouga, famous for its tall sand dunes, including the Ergchebi Dunes, a highly sought-after destination for those wanting to experience life in the Sahara Desert and enjoy camel rides. Near Merzouga is the town of Erfoud, known as the gateway to the desert and famous for its local market. Close by is Zagora, known as the gateway to the Dra Valley, one of the historic routes used by trading caravans in the past. The region also includes the Todra Valley, known for its narrow gorges and high cliffs, as well as its extensive palm groves, making it an ideal setting for hiking and trekking. Similarly, the Dades Valley is famous for its impressive rock formations and kasbahs that emerge amid the desert landscape. But this land would not be the same without its inhabitants. Among them are the Amazigh, or Berbers, who for centuries have played an important role in the trade routes connecting southern Morocco to the north and the Sahara. As an interesting fact, in some Amazigh communities, inheritance and land ownership can follow a matrilineal line, meaning descent and property are passed down through the women. This coastal region is home to many towns and smaller resorts, especially appealing to those looking to escape the hustle and bustle of the imperial cities. This area, more than almost any other part of Morocco, has always had contact with the outside world. Phoenicians and Romans established trading posts in this region. The dye and purple pigment extracted from local mollusks were used to produce the imperial purple, highly valued in ancient Rome. Portuguese and Spanish built military fortresses, trading centers, and fortified towns along the coast. Cities like El Jadida, Safi, and especially Essaouira are testimonies to this history. Their walls were built under Portuguese rule in the 16th century. When Essaouira was known as Mogador, it was only in the 1960s that Mogador began to be called by its Arabic name, Essaouira. Nowadays, this stretch of coastline is quite oriented toward the modern world. The coastal road to Essaouira passes by deserted beaches of striking beauty, ideal for surfing, until reaching Agadir, Morocco's most popular seaside destination. The territory between Agadir and Essaouira is commonly known as the Land of Argan. The argan is a tree endemic to this region, related to the olive tree, from which an oil is extracted from its nuts. The Berbers believe this oil keeps them healthy into old age, and today it is widely used as a miracle oil in the Western cosmetics industry. The Mediterranean coast of Morocco stretches for about 500 kilometers, from the Spanish enclave of Ceuta to the border with Algeria. In the 15th century, Ceuta was the focus of conflict between the Christian kingdoms of the Iberian Peninsula and the Ottoman Empire. In 1415, King John I of Portugal conquered Ceuta, establishing Portuguese control over the city. However, in 1580, Ceuta was taken by Philip II of Spain during the temporary union of Portugal and Spain under the House of Habsburg. Despite Portugal's later independence, Ceuta remained under Spanish control and has been a Spanish enclave in Africa ever since. The region is also home to Chefchaouen, a popular tourist destination in Morocco, founded in 1471 by Sultan Moulay Ali ben Musa ben Rachd el Walam, a descendant of the Prophet Muhammad, as a strategic point to control the Rif Mountain region. Today, it is known as the Blue City due to the color of its houses and buildings in the historic center, creating a charming and unique atmosphere. Besides being a true reflection of Berber and Andalusian influence, near Chefchaouen you can see goats climbing trees to feed on the leaves and fruits of the argan trees. This scene is quite unique and often captures the attention of visitors, who are surprised by this curious interaction between the goats and the trees. Also notable in the region is Melilla, a Spanish autonomous city with a unique location on the northern coast of Africa. Conquered in 1497 by the Catholic monarchs Ferdinand II of Aragon and Isabella I of Castile, the city today attracts visitors for its beaches, Mediterranean climate, and rich culture. The historic center of the city, known as the Old City, houses a large number of historic buildings and monuments, including walls, fortresses, and mosques. Although it is part of Morocco like Rabat or Marrakech, Tangier maintains a cosmopolitan character quite distinct from the rest of the country. Tangier is a historic and multicultural city, with a rich history reflecting centuries of Arab, Spanish, French, and British influences. Located at the northernmost tip of Morocco, where Africa and Europe meet at the Strait of Gibraltar, Tangier has always held a special place in Moroccan history. This fascinating city played an important role in Morocco's history in the 20th century and was largely responsible for shaping the country as we know it today. In the 19th and 20th centuries, it was the focus of disputes among European nations due to its strategic position on the Strait of Gibraltar. The Phoenicians established a port here in the 8th century BC, and later the city was colonized by the Carthaginians. In 146 BC, Tangier, then known as Tignes, became a Roman city. In the following centuries, Tangier passed through Vandal, Byzantine, Arab, Moroccan, Spanish, and British rule, making it a place of great historical significance. Due to its location, it was from Tangier that Arab armies set out in 711 AD toward the conquest of the Iberian Peninsula. In 1923, the city was granted special status as an international zone. This agreement, along with the privileges granted, attracted many foreigners, turning Tangier into a vibrant and cosmopolitan city. Morocco has been, for much of its history, a stronghold of knowledge. Exploring the vibrant Medinas of Moroccan cities, you will certainly come across the madrasas, educational institutions that were used before the creation of modern schools. Moreover, the country is proud to be home to the oldest educational institution in the world. Al-Qarawiyya University, known for offering Islamic studies since the year 859 AD, was for a long time the main center of learning in the Arab world. Today, Morocco has made significant progress in education. The primary school enrollment rate increased from 60% in 1990 to 99% in 2022. Additionally, the number of women enrolled in higher education has grown considerably. However, a lack of resources still affects the quality of education, especially in rural areas. Education is taught in Arabic, and religious education plays an important role. French is also taught in schools, and at least 1/3 of the population uses this language to communicate. In the northern part of the country, especially in Tangier, many people speak Spanish. What about you? Was there a fact you think we should have included? Or maybe one that stood out as the most fascinating? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a like. We'll see you next time as we continue exploring the wonders of our world.